Hi everybody. In this video we're going to move to part 2 of environment designs. So if you haven't seen part 1, be sure you go to that video before this one. So now that we have our thumbnails created with just a pretty big broad brush, nice hard round brush, and this can be done in Photopea as well with the mouse. You don't need a tablet. It's kind of minimal painting. I'm looking to go to kind of, I call it part 1B. We're not to step or to part 2 yet. Part 2 would be adding the shapes, but part 1B would be now going back, because I just went in order. I did this one, and this one. I'm going to come back now to the top one here. And what we're going to do, we're just going to add a little bit more detail. And to do that, we're just going to use a smaller brush. So I'm going to take my brush size down. And when I take the brush size down, you'll see you can just eyedrop by holding Option or Alt on your keyboard and just clicking on the colors right here. We really don't need the palette anymore. The first place I like to target in these are these very stale and straight horizon lines. So I'm going to eyedrop the color here, and I'm going to begin to just kind of create some different maybe some structures or something back here that would indicate maybe a horizon, a different type of horizon line. Because if if you think about horizon lines, they don't really look straight. You would see any type of vegetation, mountainous areas. So it could be something bigger going on back here, right? So I'm just kind of changing it up a bit like that. Now, over here, most of the detail isn't going to be coming into this step. The detail is coming in when we add our custom shapes, and my shape is going to drop down right here. I have a spot for it. So I'm not going to worry about this because the shape is going to drop on top of it. So if I added any type of detail to this part, it would really be, it's not necessary because the shape is going to supply all of that detail that I want. So I'm going to undo that. I am going to work though on these parts here. So these can look a little bit different. So maybe I'll try a different type of shape here. Okay. And so I'm lowering my brush size now, and I'm trying to get, change these up a bit. Maybe just help to give them a little bit more interest with a smaller brush size. Okay. All right. Great. So I'm doing that. I'll just work this one a little bit more. It's okay to break beyond. All right. Maybe back here I'll just go a little bit lower on the brush size just to get even smaller than this, because this is very far away. So it would make sense to have some smaller marks. You can just see I'm creating just some interesting looking structures and shapes here. Okay, so that one's done. I'm going to move on to this one now. So that one's pretty much finished with part 1B. Okay, I'm going to move to this one now and see what I can do. Remember, I don't really need to worry about this. However, I'm going to target these straight horizon lines. So I'm going to eyedrop. Just for now, just a little bigger brush, and we're just going to help that out a bit. Okay. Things could be... Now remember, we're not trying to build anything of note here. We're not trying to create or paint a tree, just still looking at structures and interesting shapes. It has nothing to do with painting anything yet. The details will come later. I'm just kind of helping to knock away that stale horizon line. Okay, good. And maybe I'll just I have a different brush size here. So I'm just going to make these rocks look a little bit more interesting too. Okay. There's some like type of rubble or something over here. Okay. And you should be changing your brush size often. So you can see I have two different size lines here. You know, change it up. If you're using it too long, change that brush size. You know, here, maybe this okay. And my shape will drop down here. All right, I'm done with that one. Maybe I can do something a little bit more interesting here. Let's make this maybe a little bit more angular. So that, you know, notice we're just using the hard round brush. We don't, you know, there's no reason to use anything else at this point. Okay. All right, last one. So I'm just going to add some extra details here. I think I want these to be just a little bit different than what I'm using. Maybe just have to kind of make these kind of ledges. This is the kind of the shape that I'm. I dropped the correct color. And this shape is kind of consistent throughout this this world here. These kind of ledges. All right. Whatever that is. You know, just come up with some ideas. Oh, remember I want to really target these non-interesting horizon lines here. Just change that up a bit. All right, these same shapes exist back here, possibly, right? And if you make a mistake, just drop the white, paint over it. Okay, good. Same here. You know, be careful not to change the depth of the piece, meaning this should not paint on top of this here, right? Because you can see how that changes this a lot. Now it looks like this lighter color is in front of this darker color, which does not make sense. Still, we want to keep that idea of darker moves forward, right? Darker moves forward. Okay, maybe I can even just go a little smaller on the brush size for some of these pieces here. Just maybe get them a little bit more, just a little bit more detail, just with a smaller brush size. Okay. And yeah, I can kind of see a line here. Maybe I want to take care of. It just looked a little bit too boring. This one also, maybe just change it up a little bit. And I'm going to call this done. This is where that shape is going to go. These are the ones that I'll be using moving forward to the video of part 3. Okay, so good luck and give this a try. Add a little bit more detail by changing having a lower brush size. Okay, good luck and give it a try.